Shout out to the chat. Yo, Black is time. Knicks and Bruises back in the building. Got my guy DJ Shuttle. We were supposed to give this to y'all yesterday, but we here now. What up, my guy?
Hey man, we on time still. You heard your Black is Tom.
That's right. Um, Summer League is right around the corner.
Yeah,
Friday game.
I had to pull it back out for the summer league. You heard?
Yes, sir. Knicks vibes only.
Wow.
If you know, you know. If
Yeah, I mean, Knicks
if
vibes
y'all,
only. That's all you gonna get.
oh yeah, I got a random text from my guy Shuttle the other day. Talk about Linsanity 2.0 question mark. I'm like, what's that about? I'm like, I know he ain't trying to make a return to the NBA or something. And he sent me the link. Let's talk about it, man. What's his name? Yudai Baba.
Yudai Alibaba. You know what I mean? Baba is, he's an exciting player, just like Linsanity was. A 6'5" guard. Uh, he's got handle. He don't have a shot really like Linsanity did. Lin had a decent 3-point shot. This guy's like pretty much like a 30%, 3-point shooter throughout the Australian League and in his G League career. So he's not really a great shooter, but respectfully for a Japanese player, he's more athletic than we would typically think he would be. And yeah, he has when he goes for the dunk, they call it the Baba Boom. You heard? The Baba Boom. You know what I mean? He got one of them sneaky dunks where like you running up like you think you about to clap it and this boom and he just bangs it. He just bangs it on you. So Baba Boom. I'm looking forward to seeing that in Summer League.
Oh wow. Baba Boom. I see got a nickname Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, Tokyo Drift. He got his Baba Boom signature play. So I mean, that's the type of excitement, to get you coming to watch a game.
For sure, especially in the summer league. Yeah, I watched the link you sent me. I did a little bit of my own research. I see he's not a young guy, 29 years old. You know what I mean? So he should be more developed, more advanced, more ready, if you will, especially in the summer league type situation. I think he got a couple championships in the Australian League. Got a medal for Japan in the Olympics. So he's well established. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what he could bring. Maybe he makes the summer league. Maybe I don't know if there's an age limit on summer league, but maybe he makes the summer league. Maybe he shows out and gets a two-way. I don't know, but definitely looking forward to seeing somebody I haven't even heard about and see what he could do. See if he could shine.
I mean, considering that there's no first round pick and there's no excitement in the draft, to have some players coming in for summer league that you have a reason to go watch them. I guess is probably the highlight of the off season right now for me.
No doubt. Let me go ahead and pull up this summer league roster real quick. Oh, there he goes. First guy up. You
There
die
you go.
Baba. Tokyo Drift. Who else we got here? Bawa Ballas, you heard of him?
Not really very familiar with Bayless or Bales.
Okay. We got Beauchamp coming back, trying to secure. I would think at this point he trying to secure another two-way because I don't see him getting the vet minimum spot. You know what I mean? Diarway, the forward. He's the guy we drafted, right? 51st pick.
That's correct. Very athletic wing. I think like 6'8". Um, raw talent. Absolutely expect him to be in the G League this year.
Two-way or just G League?
I mean, I feel like that McCullough is likely going to get the two-way spot.
Okay. Well, isn't it two or three of them? Two-way spots?
Mm,
It's at least two, I believe. I thought last year for some reason it was an extra one.
hmm.
But
Okay, each team can have up to three players on two-way contracts, in addition to the maximum of 15 players on the NBA standard contracts.
that's what I thought. So yeah, McCullough probably on a two-way. Um, Nor the rookie we just drafted, I think he gets on a two-way.
Diawara, yep.
I can't. I'm having problems. He need a nickname, Muhammad. I'm gonna call him Muhammad because
There you go.
I'm having issues with the first name. Oh, so
And
yeah,
then,
we're gonna talk about who
and
can
then
get the third one.
maybe Najee.
Well, Najee, I think he might get the rookie contract.
Oh, okay.
Um, I know a little bit about him. He's
Maybe,
the guy
maybe
we got in the cat trade, correct?
correct. Yeah, and the team, definitely could still use another big man.
7 footer, 7'7" wingspan, 250. Um, and he's ready to come play. You know what I mean? Like I think he's 20 years old as well.
Yeah, he's a young 21, and yeah, I mean, I definitely saw some great highlights on him. Looking forward to see what he could bring to the team.
And then we got Huck Porty coming back from injury. I think he should be a lot more seasoned. But
Yep.
I thought he had a great summer league last year, which kind of put him on the map or the Knicks radar. You know what I mean? And you see he worked his way into a spot. So that's going to be good, showing some experience, showing how healthy he is. Obviously, we got Tyler Kolek get to run the show. Um,
Yo, I think the Knicks G League starting five actually looks kind of crazy.
who they got? Who they got as the listed starters or
I mean,
projected
there's
starters?
there's no official depth chart that I've seen, but the DJ Shuttle depth chart, you know what I'm saying? You got Kolick and Hug Porty is a great start to your starting five. Then you got to figure McCullough's going to be in the starting five, plus Daddy A.
That's three. That's
That's
four.
four. That's
Yeah,
four. So
yeah.
like that's a real good starting four for a summer league team. That's going to be filled with young players and people just trying to find roster spots. Um, you know, I mean, I've been watching some tape of McCullough, man. Like, McCullough was really good before he had that injury in college, and he came back into the season G League and was making himself known. So
Mm-hmm.
um, I absolutely expect him to, even if he don't get many minutes, I think he's going to make the squad.
You you think he wouldn't be considered a rookie anymore, right? So I don't know if he could even get the rookie.
I think he's going to get one of the two ways.
Okay, yeah, yeah, I could see that. I could see that for sure. I would pencil that in for sure. I think I think at this point there's one two-way spot available. I think McCullough's for sure, and I think the second round pick Muhammad is for sure on a two-way right now, like projected wise. I would bring in the guy from overseas on a rookie contract.
Baba Boom.
Now, now, Baba Boom. He might be the third two way. You know what I mean? If that's still possible at his age, and I don't see why it isn't. Because I don't think he had the NBA experience.
So you said a guy from overseas. Which guy you referring to? Najee?
Najee.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's from Nigeria.
Yeah, I like him. And if you look at these guys that we got, because there's two other guys I want to actually talk about, as well as I'll read the guys that are coming back, and that's Dink Pate,
Mm-hmm.
who I think he's 19, but he just played in Mexico, I think, but he was on the G League Ignite team before that team
That
before that situation
blew up.
crumbled.
Yep.
And he was considered the youngest American professional athlete ever. You figure he played 2 years professionally, and he's still just coming in as a rookie at 19 years old. He's still raw. He still has a lot of growth, but 6'7", that's that wing size that we need. Um, Especially moving forward. You know what I mean? Ton of potential. Ton of potential.
Nah, he got what we call the uber athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, his shot looks ugly,
Got to
and
work on that.
his shot looks ugly, and from what I've seen, it looks like his like court awareness and court IQ is not like naturally very high. I think now going from the Ignite, now to the actual G League would be an ideal elevation for
That'll-
him to play against more NBA type style competition to see. Because a lot of times, man, raw talent and just athleticism can get you by, but you know the smarter players you play against, that doesn't work, and you got to find other ways, to do it. And
or elevate your own IQ.
yeah, well, yeah, right, that's what I mean. You got to find other ways to do it. You know what I mean? By elevating your IQ and being smarter, not harder. So hopefully, we'll see some of that in the summer league because this team is definitely short on uber athletic players. Like, there's not really it's not really like super athletic players on this team. I thought Bridges would be that guy, and even he's not the athlete that I thought he was. To be really honest with you, he's athletic, but not uber athletic.
Yeah, by far, Mitchell Robinson is our most athletic player. You know what I mean?
That's
And
terrible
then, no, for sure, for sure.
because he ain't that
Um,
athletic.
I mean, he might have lost a step or still getting a step back, but I think he's super athletic.
Nah,
Um,
you put that weight on, kid. This ain't year one, year two, Mitch.
that's true.
He put he
That's
put
true.
he put the weight on. He don't got the hops. Yo, this guy Luca, they calling him Luca 2.0. He got some hops too.
Okay, shout out to HRM. He's probably the one guy I missed as far as looking up, highlights and seeing what he's about. What can you tell me about him?
I just the little that I saw, he's about 6'8", I believe. Um, just I was surprised by the athleticism. Everything I was watching on the highlights, he's like catching alley oops and dunking it. So that's really all I got to see. I haven't had a
Okay,
chance. I didn't get a chance to dive on him the way I was able to get my intel on some of the other players. But yeah, he's tall, long arms. He's got some hops, good wingspan. Um, it seems to have a decent jumper.
okay. 23 years old. I'm gonna look right into him as soon as we get off this stream. Um, what do you know about Lance Weir?
Nothing.
I, I just started looking up some of his highlights. 6'10". Um, it looked like he played for Kentucky,
Right.
Villanova,
Yeah, Kentucky.
and
Yep.
and um and maybe like a mid-major school or something, or a D2 school or something. So it looked like he's been taking advantage. I don't know if this is good or bad. You would know better of that transfer portal. You know what I mean? Um,
Getting to the money.
but I heard Rick Brunson used to coach him in high school,
I did see that.
so that's interesting.
He got
You
the
know,
inside. He got the inside invitation.
inside invitation opportunity. Maybe that's how he got to Villanova as well. Who knows? But from what I've seen from him, he looked like a high motor, high energy guy. You know what I mean? 6'10", not quite a 7 footer. So I don't know if he would be considered a center or a forward. Let me see what they got him listed as a center. So maybe undersized center, small ball center. But he does have some footwork for his size, which was nice to see. I don't know if you're gonna get much more out of him than that, but he could probably fill a precious role at some point, in his NBA career down the line.
Yeah, I mean, on this team, summer league, he's backing up Huck Porty. They're probably not gonna really kill Huck Porty with minutes. Najee may get some minutes at center. He Najee looks like a power forward slash center. So
Mm-hmm.
so Ware will probably get a good, Ware will get a share of minutes, you know what I mean, low key on the bars. And that's it.
Well,
But I just want to double back on Luca just real quick. He
mhm.
actually I was just checking it up. Actually is 6'10".
Yeah. HRM just put it up too in the chat. 6'10".
Yeah, so he's a 6'10" power forward with a decent three, and and pretty athletic. These typical new age European big man.
Where's he from? Do you know?
I was just looking at it. I don't want to mess that name up. Slovenia.
Okay. Yeah, that's one thing about the Knicks though. We seem to we find some young players, and if nothing else, the Westchester team is gonna be lit again.
Yeah, he played with Luka Doncic on the Slovenian team.
Okay, I feel like I heard about him, or maybe I did do research on him before.
Two-time Slovenian league champion.
Mm,
He played
interesting.
in Germany. He played in Germany this past year. His biggest game, 26 points, 10 assists. He averaged 10 points per game with 5 assists.
Oh wow.
44.5% from the field, 33.6 from three.
Jarrell, salute my brother. I know you be having the inside scoop on these college players too. I should have sent you the link as well. Had you guys sharing knowledge. Said if they play together, this summer league roster should definitely make some noise. I agree.
And that's what I was saying earlier. I mean, Kolick, McCullough, Daddier, Huck Porty, and I mean if they put Najee at the power forward,
Najee 7 foot.
well, they got him listed as 6'10" when I looked, but 6'10", 7 foot, I don't know. But
Wait, am I getting confused?
I mean when you're that tall, depends on who's reporting it.
That's true. Look at this guy. Nostalgic, man. What up? Trade Kolick. Trade him for what? For who?
Who's saying trade him?
Nostalgic Nick.
He's not feeling too nostalgic.
Oh, I
You mean
mean,
trade him for what? Now, now, respectfully, since he's talking throwing trades out there, and since you got a vet minimum that's available out there, like I would low key, respectfully, I would trade Deuce. If I like Kolick, if I'm the Knicks and I like Kolick, if I really like Kolick, I would trade Deuce and I would bring in CP3 or Westbrook or Brogdon.
I'm not. I'm less excited about Brogdon than the other two. I'm more intrigued with Westbrook, and I've always said Chris Paul could help on this team, like any year. It don't matter what year it was. Oh, I think Chris Paul is going. He's trying to stay close to his kids.
right?
Um, I could see him going back to the Clippers
Or
if
or the Thunder.
if or the Thunder. I mean, I don't know if he's needed as much on the Thunder.
True.
You know what I mean. I think the Clippers could use him more, but he does have a good relationship with
SGA.
SGA
Yep, and the organization.
and the
Well,
organization.
my thing is that I like Kolek, and I think Kolek long term would be a better point guard backup than Deuces. And you know, if Kolek is going to be the third string point guard, I'd rather have somebody a little bit more reliable when Brunson comes out.
My only thing with Deuce is he's an impact guy. Like he may not be a point guard at all, but he impacts the games. Like and that's whether he's shooting well or not. So if I'm trading Deuce,
I'm thinking like
I don't even know if you could get equal value straight up in any trade, like a straight up salary matching trade. You're probably not gonna get equal value back.
my my uh my fantasy thought trade was to deal him for Kessler. And if you need to throw in a pick, a first and a second, or a first or whatever to make that happen, because I can't trust Mitch. And even though I'm inspired by Hukporty and I think he could do well, you know, I would just feel safe. I would feel a lot safer with Kessler as a backup, for the Mitch injury concerns that happened. And if you needed to play Kessler and Towns together,
Good.
I'd feel even better about that than doing Mitch and Towns together. So and then you could still use the that vet minimum and still bring in the Westbrook or the CP3 or the Brogdon or whoever it is and bring another point guard in.
That is one guy that is equal value as far as impact. You know what I mean? What you're gonna get with Kessler, I think you can compare that to what you're gonna get
And
from Deuce as far as the impact standpoint. It may
and
be low points, it may not. You know what I mean? Like, but his
he's gonna block
defense,
shots,
yeah,
rebound, and then to also be two steps ahead. You know, he's in the last year of his contract, as is Mitch. I gotta assume you probably not gonna give Mitch no money right now. So if you got both of them, you could play them both out. See
yeah.
how see who's the most worth retaining, who is the best value to maybe do a signing trade, and you just deal with that in the off season.
Is he on a rookie scale contract?
Yep.
So he would come with the restricted free agency, or is this his last? Is this his
This is his last year, if I'm not mistaken, but I'll check it out.
So we would have like bird rights, but not he wouldn't be restricted, a restricted free agent. Oh,
Exactly.
hey, I think he can help. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little worried about Mitch. Like you know that's my guy. It's hard to gauge.
Oh
You
no,
know
he's restricted.
how
He's restricted for next season.
for next season. Oh, that's even more of a reason to do it. That's even more of a reason to do it because you could, like you said, you could let it play out. If you decide to resign Mitch, you can. You know what I mean? You can still have tabs on Kessler for years to come. Um, yeah. Look at this statue, Nick. Mitch is gone. I'm almost starting to believe that um that he might be out. And I look at the guys that they brought in, especially Najee and 7'7" wingspan. Like what he does is very similar to Mitch. Um, it's a business, you know what I mean. Mitch is my guy. I ain't gonna wish for it, but
Nah,
I understand it. I understand it, especially what you could get back. You know what I mean? Like
and we in summer league mode. I'm very sorry I took us down this rabbit hole.
our biggest problem is point of attack defense, and y'all talk about trade and Deuce. Come on, son. Oh, first of all, I was talking about Deuce's impact when he's on the floor. I was talking about defense. Whether he scores or not, he impacts the floor. I understand that.
So so
And we don't have many of those guys. So that's why it's hard to even talk about trading him or Mitch, because they're one of four guys that play defense and probably above what we're asking for. Like the two guys that we're asking to be lockdown guys, you know, I mean, I can't really argue with OG. I think he's been solid. But Mikel, he's been up and down. Deuce has been solid defensively his whole time, and I think the same could be said for Mitch. They have other flaws, so I agree. I'm right with you, man. It's just a conversation. It's
nah,
just a
yeah,
conversation.
that's me. I take that and I own it. But at least with Kessler, it's not like you know in that trade I'm proposing. It's not like you're just going for an offensive guy that is of no value on defense. No, he's not point of attack, and that's definitely valid. And point of attack is absolutely important. So I feel you on that.
Take this off the screen to get us back over here. I had that up that long.
But
Oh,
but but I gotta say, but of all the players for summer league, just to kind of circle back to the summer league thing, I'm most excited to see what Kevin McCullough has to offer. I think if he didn't have that injury, he likely was like a late first round pick. Probably early 20s, or something like that. And I just think that he's a professional player, and I think he could do well in the NBA. So I'm looking forward to see what he does. Every summer league is a guy that you know you
stands
look
out,
yeah
pops.
to be the standout guy, and I'm kind of I don't want to bet that it's him, but I'm hoping that it's him based on what I saw from him in college and what I think he could be in the NBA, and to get him to secure a contract and to have him maybe be a year prepared, in the post Josh Hart era to essentially be the future Josh Hart for the team. Not exactly the same, but similar. Hustle players. He plays the passing lanes very well. He's good on one man breaks, and he finishes good at the rim. So you know,
No, I agree. I agree, and that was his player comp, Josh Hart, in college. So I definitely see that as a Josh Hart replacement. Somebody in the chat said Dink could play the point guard. See if I can find it.
nah.
I think the biggest thing with that is the only reason I agree with you in the nah is because of his age, and I don't know if that's what he was brought up as.
He is.
You know what I mean? So at 19, you know what I mean, and that's I'm not trying to transition you into a point guard at 19. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, it depends. If you in the G League, that might be something you could experiment with here, but not trying to make the big team and not
He looks like a score first player. What
he
once they say Daddy A McCullough, you guys have had enough. After they play a game or two, then I could see him going wild.
go
And
get buckets.
yeah, 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 I could see him going wild to get buckets.
I mean, he's definitely a athlete. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
that's what we call uber athletic. Aha raza. You know what I mean? Above the rim. Dipsy do Dunkaroo, all that.
Wayne Penny said one thing nobody brings up about McCullough is his
Oh,
basketball IQ, specifically as a passer.
yeah. Well,
I think he does everything, a little bit of everything.
he's a professional. He's a professional player, like that, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm looking forward to seeing him do well because I just think he's of all the players, I think he's the most NBA ready of all the players. Don't get me wrong. I know Huck Porty's, he's a grown man. He's got the size. Kolik's got he's got the smarts. He's a good passer. But I just think overall savviness of the game, grown man strength, knowing how to the angles, getting to the hoop, all I think all of those things all combined, I think McCullough is the most prepared and the most ready.
Yeah, I also think he has the highest floor. Like, you know what I mean? Like he might not be no superstar, go ever a go to guy or anything like that, but solid NBA career, 10-year career, whatever. Like he that's what I see with him. Like just a solid NBA player. You know what I mean? Somebody you could throw on any roster and he figure out a way to contribute. It might not even be the same on each particular team because he could do a little bit of everything. But what does this team need? All right, that's what I'm focused on. What
Right.
does that team need? All right, I got to rebound and defend here. You know what I mean? So I agree. It's
But
gonna be interesting
but we got Dink and we got Baba for the excitement though.
for for the Baba Boom. You say
Yeah, the Baba boom, bada bada boom. Definitely looking forward to the Baba boom.
we definitely need some athleticism on the back side of the 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 rotation, or not rotation, but the roster on the back end. You know what I mean? Somebody when things is when we are up by 30, you know what I mean? And guys is getting some playing time that wouldn't necessarily, you know what I mean? We want to see some alley oops, some high flying dunks, you know what I mean? Something that keeps that momentum going. Because
Type of play.
usually you put the tail end of the bench guys in and it get a little sloppy, you know what I mean? You start losing the lead a little bit. But nah, these guys get Kolik throwing oops to Dink and Dottie.
Now we talking. Now we talking. Yeah, that's how we need to start finishing some games.
For sure.
Yo, so there is another player that is on a team that was picked up last year that we didn't talk about, and that's Watson at the bottom.
Anton Watson, I see him.
Yeah, he's like he's like an undersized power forward. I think they got him listed at like 6'6", 6'7". But yeah, he's one of those guys that, like I said, is undersized power forward, plays rough, plays tough, can grab boards, decent defender, can't move him around too easy, Um, I think he'll get some minutes as well.
I'm looking at Andrew's Andrew's comment with Jarrell. I was wondering who Terrell was too. Oh, they go to Summer League schedule. Let's go over that real quick. Friday, July 11th versus Detroit. And we got Boston on the 13th, Brooklyn on the 12th. I think that might be the ESPN game, the third game. Um, the other two I think are NBA TV. Thursday, 17th, Indiana, and then of course we should be in the tournament because this team is stacked. You know what I mean? We got some young guys coming back that I think are ready to show out. I'm looking forward to see if Kolik shows any growth. Um, Definitely McCullough because he's still like a mystery, even though we kind of know what he does. Dadier, did he show any growth? You know what I mean? And then the two recent additions, the Muhammad and Najee, those two. You know what I mean? Because they both look like prototypical NBA body player. You know what I mean? Like, and they got a little bit of skill sets and experience as well. All of these guys got to work on a jumper, but fundamentals. All these guys 7 foot wingspans, to seven wingspans. Like these guys are like freaks of nature type players that the Knicks are targeting, and maybe that's where they talking about developing. Maybe they talking about development on the back end. You know what I mean, for the future.
Well, listen, the prototype teams when it comes to developing players uh, over the past 20 years have been the Miami Heat and the San Antonio Spurs. And then you look up and you're watching them one game and you see somebody playing and you're like, yo, who is this guy? And then you look at the history and you see they've been in the G League for 2 years, or they played in the G League for a year and they've been on the roster for a year but haven't been playing. Or, this whole type of thing, which is why I personally wasn't really mad with the Tibbs approach, where you don't play young guys, where you don't play every young guy, and they have to kind of go through the trenches to develop, because that's how winning organizations have actually done it.
Mm.
Fans, um, but um, but with this group of young players, I mean, before you even get to Diawara and the new people that have come to the team, you got Kolick, Huck Porty, Daddy and McCullough. You got four young guys whose contracts that are going to be, that are very small contracts for the next three to 4 years, and it gives you a lot of flexibility if and when you have to do anything with the guys you have on the roster. If these young guys develop to be real good players, they could be potential trade bait. Who knows?
Little added incentives in the trade. We don't got draft picks, but we got this young guy right here who
Right.
who might be something. You know what I mean? We got this. So yeah.
And
Uh,
even in a deal, like if this guy Najee looks amazing and could be a backup center, I mean, respectfully, that makes Huck Porty more, you know, more flexible to be able to be, included in the deal. And when you think that a deal couldn't get done, it's like, okay, well, damn, we could do him, we could do him, we could do him. Now you got a couple of pieces moving.
yeah, yeah. Keep that flexibility.
And the Brooklyn game is on ESPN. ESPN 6 p.m. Tuesday, Knicks and Brooklyn.
Yep, yep. So
So
that might be the only one I get to see. I do not have NBA TV, and I'm not buying it for the summer league, but
I,
I
I
might catch it. I might catch a bootleg stream somewhere.
no doubt drop
Definitely
drop
catch the highlights.
drop those bootleg streams in the chat. You heard?
For sure. Shuttle man, I appreciate you, giving me the insight on the players you knew about. You know what I mean? Definitely appreciated the text with the
Linsanity
head.
2.0. Let's see if it goes down.
Baba
Tokyo
boom.
Tokyo Drift is going down fast and furious. You know what I mean? So maybe
Appreciate you guys in the chat as well.
so maybe
Tuning
we'll
in
maybe we'll do this chop up when the summer league is over, and see a before and after.
for sure. For sure. Who
You know
stood
what I mean?
out, who we think should make the team. And if not, the G League team is gonna be stacked. I mean the Westchester team is gonna be stacked. So yeah.
Should be a lot of guards.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Um yeah, shout out to the chat, man. Everybody tuning in. Replay game. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. I'll be back tonight with Sim. I'm sure he's gonna talk about the Mike Brown press conference. Did you see it?
I
Did
did
you
not
listen to it?
see it.
Well,
No,
that's how it was. It was interesting. I liked it. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna be good in the media for sure. He's not gonna make a lot of mistakes in the media. You know what I mean? Like he's seasoned it in that sense for sure.
I don't want to take no thunder from you guys tonight, but I just say what um what I wonder about, because the Knicks brass has been very tight-lipped with communicating and clearly have some input on the coaches, reining them in and then reining the players in and controlling the whole public relations aspect of the team in a lot more ways than most of the teams in the league. So, I don't know. Mike Brown strikes me as a little bit more brash for the Knicks in
For
that
them,
regard. Yeah, in that regard. So I'm intrigued to see, if he's the Mike Brown that we've seen as much on this organization, or if they will reel him in. So that's kind of my outlook.
man, you got me thinking because the one thing that stood out to me that he said a lot of times was collaborative effort. And I don't know if that was, you know,
You know what that
because
was.
that
Yeah,
was stressed to him.
you know what that
You know what I
was.
mean?
You know what that was. You know what that
But
was. They told him the job and his money is contingent on him doing that, and he got to reinforce that in the meeting so they can say that they heard him say it. You know what that was.
that was the one thing that stood out to me the most. I'm like, Dad, how many times are you gonna say it? Like, we get it. Y'all working together. I get it. But I think he's gonna end up being the voice of the organization as far as the ROs don't speak much. You know what I mean? We can't really get much out of them. He's gonna be the guy the mouthpiece that they get their message out through. That's what I got from it. Um, but we shall see.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the press conference and I'll see what you guys talking about tonight. You heard?
No doubt. Appreciate you, man. Until next time, yo, Blackest Time. We out of here. Replay gang. Knicks vibes only.
Bow.
DJ Shuttle. Tony Crow. We out.
Peace.